Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the public eye, I have a somewhat regrettable announcement to make. Today, we are not going to be streaming Calgary-Montreal, and I know that's going to piss a lot of people off because we haven't streamed a Habs game in a very long time. Because the last series of Habs games we had were against Vancouver. I don't stream Vancouver games, but even if I wanted to stream Calgary-Montreal, I wouldn't be able to because I do have the regional blackout over here. I do know there are other websites out there where you can get NHL viewing footage, but to me, there's already a big enough delay between those streaming services and the ones who watch them, which would be, in this case, me. So I'm kind of thinking there's already an internal delay that's built into the streams that I do. So if something happens in a Montreal Canadiens game and I'm streaming it, viewing it via one of these other streaming services that other people are recommending, things could get really delayed for you at home sitting on your couch watching the Lego Rocks 99 live stream on your own platform. And I'm talking about like a minute, maybe like a minute and 15 seconds worth of a delay. That to me is unacceptable, so as a result, we're not going to be streaming it. We're going to be streaming the game that I actually do have access to watch here on the TV, which will be Pittsburgh-Boston. It's the first venture that I'm actually doing into either of these teams, so it should be a fun little stream. Check it out at 3:30 to 4-ish p.m. PST. That'll also double up as our hype stream because Ottawa, Vancouver are playing, and I know Canucks fans really want to get in on that. But sorry for wasting your time, let's get on to the topic of this video. Let's talk about the number one prospect in the Montreal Canadiens system, and no, we're not talking about Alexander Romanov. He's already on the team. I'm not going to call him a prospect anymore. Let's go over the 15th overall pick at the 2019 NHL Entry Draft, Cole Caufield. Because what Marc Bergevin did a few days ago was he went over onto Zoom, and what he did was a Q&A, questions and answers session for season ticket holders of the Montreal Canadiens. We have ourselves our friend Robert Luis, who on Twitter posted his own screenshot of being there with Marc Bergevin and asking him a few questions. He says, "I feel so important, but Marc Bergevin looks like he feels his time would be better spent anywhere else." In this Q&A session with the fans, Marc Bergevin revealed that Cole Caufield is expected to join the Habs in some capacity when his college season ends. He didn't fully commit to an answer on whether it would be taxi squad or going to the AHL. He said that salary will be a bit of an issue, but he doesn't expect Caufield to be in college too much longer. Now that, indeed, is not a surprise. You know, oh, big Caufield update, Lego, what are you doing? You're clickbaiting us again. But, you know, I think it's just very good to have it set in stone, have it officially come out of the GM's mouth that, yes, Cole Caufield, the plan for him is to come over to the Montreal Canadiens organization in some capacity once his Wisconsin Badgers season is over. Now, at the moment, the Wisconsin Badgers really don't have too much certainty as to how far they're going to go in terms of the postseason, etc., because if you go over it, the Wisconsin Badgers regular season ends March 6th, and then you have the Big Ten tournament, which takes place on the 18th to the 20th. So depending on how things go over there, depending on how Wisconsin plays with, I believe it's like the national championship or whatever, I don't really know how the NCAA, what is it, like tournament number one championship is decided. I know there's a whole bunch of games, but that's about it. Whenever that's done, we could probably see Cole Caufield coming over here and doing his thing. But at the moment, if you take a look at the Big Ten standings, because that is a very, very big part of how exactly this hockey system is going to go down, the Wisconsin Badgers aren't actually as bad as they were last year. Taking a look at the Big Ten, they are indeed third in the conference. They have 22 points in 12 games played. They're one back behind the University of Michigan and 5 points back of first place. They do have quite a comfortable lead over Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan State. So the way these Badgers are playing this year, who knows how well they're actually going to be able to do to the point of them actually doing something in the postseason or whatever. So once everything is done, once Caufield and the Badgers get eliminated in the tournaments or whatever, then we'll probably see Cole Caufield get something done with the Montreal Canadiens, despite the fact that salary does seem to be a bit of an issue, especially when it comes to the shortened season, taxi squads, money against the cap and all that, because the season does end in April. So there's a whole bunch of implications here, but we'll get there when we get there, I guess. And at this point in the video, I just wanted to go over how exactly Caufield has been playing in the most recent games, because if you take a look at the last Cole Caufield update we did, last time, we talked about not only Caufield, but we spoke about Dylan Holloway as well. I could very well make this a Dylan Holloway video too, but I wanted to mostly focus on Caufield because that is what Marc Bergevin highlighted in the fan press conference. If you go over to the most recent University of Wisconsin Badgers games, they played 2 against Penn State University on the weekend, on Thursday and Friday. On the 21st, they beat Penn State 4-1, and on the 22nd, they lost to Penn State 5-4, scoring 4 goals in each of the games, but, of course, you know, the goals allowed was the ultimate difference maker. In both of these games, Cole Caufield had himself 1 goal and 1 assist. Now, some of the goals were kind of weird. One of them, it was like, it bounced around a whole bunch of guys before eventually going into the net, and it was like, Cole Caufield got it, okay, cool, no questions asked, we'll take it, Caufield is up here with a goal. But at the end of the day, 4 points in 2 games played in the Penn State University series is good enough to put Cole Caufield at a total of 21 points in 16 games played, which is really good. Like, it's second in the NCAA good. The only guy who has more points than Cole Caufield in the NCAA, Odin Tufto, is 24 years old. Funny enough, he's also 5'7". So, obviously, the scoring race, it's different. You have some guys in here like Shane Pinto, Linus Weissbach of the Wisconsin Badgers is in here too, Kent Johnson, Bordelot. Some of these guys are 19, some of these guys are 18, some of these guys are a little bit older than others, like the first overall guy in points. If you go over to the points per game race, though, Cole Caufield is still a top 10 player. There are a few guys with a very limited amount of games played over here, and Dylan Holloway is also in the top 13 as well, which is not bad at all. However, Cole Caufield has really shown himself off this season as a guy who has so much to prove into the next few years of his career, because everything that we wanted out of Cole Caufield has been kind of explored and more. It's not even just the points anymore this guy's getting. He's doing everything out there. Defensive play, skating on the back check, overall movement on the ice. It's all so good this year with Cole Caufield, and if you've watched any of the Badgers games this year, because some of them actually have been available on TV, I believe TVA showed a few of them, if not it was TSN, which I did manage to catch a little bit, he's looked really good. Like, I can't stress how good Caufield has looked. The guy had 5 points in 7 games at the World Juniors. Yeah, it's not Trevor Zegras level by any means, but I do believe Caufield was still somewhat underutilized at that World Juniors tournament because, come on, having the 5'8" guy in the bumper spot, it's kind of weird. However, Cole Caufield, though, having this confirmation from Marc Bergevin saying that they want to bring him in, and he'll probably be in the Habs lineup, either on the taxi squad, the main team, or the AHL's Laval Rocket. Who really knows? There wasn't any indication given in the answer. Best case scenario for the Habs, they make the playoffs, they win a few rounds, and all of a sudden Cole Caufield comes onto the team, he starts clapping bombs and doing very good things with the main club, because he is just so mature right now, man. He is such a good hockey player. I can't wait to see this guy suit up sooner rather than later. I hope the end of 2021 sees us with some very good Cole Caufield highlights in a Montreal Canadiens sweater. So, talk to me in the comments what you think about Cole Caufield, his very good performance so far in the NCAA. I say so far. The season's like halfway over, so we've got just a little bit more time to wait until Caufield wraps everything up. But again, talk to me in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. The Badgers are actually playing tomorrow against Michigan State, and then the next day as well. So be on the lookout for that. Also, tune into this channel at 3:30 to 4 p.m. PST for the Bruins and Penguins game stream. Also, hype stream later for the Canucks and the Senators. So, and bye.